Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, I hope you are good. So guys, today we're going to be talking all things releasing and the right way to release at the end of the year. So next year is going to be a very, very powerful year for us. For one, it's the year 2025, which means 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. 9 represents wish fulfillment, dreams coming true, and being in a space where you're able to really see your dreams manifest in front of you. So it's going to be a big year. Also, it's the 5th year in the decade of 2020, and we all know how 2020 began. So the year 5 typically represents conflict, challenges, having to really make some hard decisions and having things come to the surface. So wish fulfillment and things coming to the surface. It's going to be a lot that we're going to be stepping into, and we're going to be talking a lot about it as we get into everything next year. But today we're going to be talking all things releasing and the right way to release so you can be stepping into the right energies next year. At the end of this year, on the final full moon of the year, December 15th, I'm going to be hosting a year-end releasing event. I did a smaller releasing event last year, and I really liked it. It was really great, so we're going to do it again. But this time, we're going to basically be doing kind of like a releasing webinar. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about emotional, spiritual, and physical attachments, you know, the effect that trauma leaves on our subconscious, how to reprogram our subconscious mind, everything about releasing. You guys can ask whatever questions you have about releasing. It's going to just be a conversation and course, essentially a little class about releasing, and it's going to be taking place on December 15th. That is a Sunday evening, and we're going to be meeting at 6:30 Central PM on live on Zoom. So I'm super excited about this year-end releasing event. The tickets are dropping today, so you guys can get into it if you're interested. I'm also going to be sending you guys an ebook. You guys know I love an ebook. I love a guide. So I put together a releasing guidebook for you guys that just breaks down everything about releasing and releasing practices and the things that you need to know to make your releasing a success. We're also going to do a collective releasing ritual. So anybody that gets a ticket, you'll be able to message me and let me know what you're trying to release and what you're trying to bring in for next year. And then we're going to do a collective prayer and a collective releasing ritual where I'm going to be burning the paper with you guys on live as we're getting into the questions and as we're getting into everything. So I'm super excited for the releasing event. I think it's going to be really incredible. The tickets are $50. You guys can check down below and get into it. If you're interested, make sure you leave your email in the payment notes, and you're going to have up until December 15th to let me know what you want to release. So take the time over the next couple of months. That's kind of why I wanted to announce it a little bit earlier. So we have about 2 months to start to brainstorm, to start to think about what we want to let go of, and to make sure we're releasing differently. You know, you want to release differently depending on the type of situation that you're stepping into, and it's always good to know what you're releasing for and what you are trying to get prepared for. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But again, the year-end releasing event is going to be December 15th. The tickets are $50. Everybody that comes is going to get an ebook. You're going to be able to participate in the collective releasing ritual that we're going to do as a group. And of course, it's going to be an all things releasing course with a bunch of people. We're just going to be getting into everything releasing and then some. So make sure you guys get into it if you're interested. Let's go ahead and get into this video, guys, and talk about all things releasing and the right way that you want to release as we step into the end of this year. So of course, guys, we kind of want to release as if we're approaching a manifestation. Like we know we have wishes being fulfilled. We have big opportunities that are going to be unlocking for us next year. For some of us, we already know what these things are. If you've been putting a lot of effort into your business or into your fitness or into your mental health, into your money, if you've been just having your eyes set on a certain goal for these last couple of months or even for these last couple of years, you know, I think that next year is really going to be a turning point in a lot of these long projects that we've all been working on, and these really long things that we've been just trying to get committed to. You know, if you've been fighting to make certain things happen, next year is going to be the year that you're going to be able to make it happen. Now, mind you, next year is also going to be crazy. You know, we're going to have a new president. Who knows what that's going to look like and how that's going to affect everybody in all spaces, you know, and we're in a financial crisis right now. That might change next year. It might not. Who knows? But the state of the world in itself, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in everyone's personal lives, and the benefit of releasing at the end of the year is because it's a collective releasing experience. I don't believe in the calendar that we use. I think that the actual new year takes place at the beginning of spring, but there is power in releasing with every other human being at the same time at the end of the year. You know, especially on the last full moon. I know everybody is going to be taking advantage of the last full moon. The people that know, okay. The people that are in tune and aware are definitely going to be releasing on that full moon. So it gives what you're doing more power when everybody is on one accord. accord. And whenever everyone is collectively thinking of what have I done this year, you're automatically going to be thinking that because we're humans and we share these same energies. So if you're having thoughts about what you did this year, guess what? So are the people that are going to be making the movies and typing the magazine articles and coming out with the stories. So now you're going to be seeing New Year's resolution this. What did you do this year? What have you come up with this year? It's like we're all thinking the same things most of the time and going through a lot of the same experiences. So at the end of the year, it's kind of an opportunity to just ride that wave of everybody feeling really, really good, about what they want and where they're going and how they're going to get there and, all of those things and then some. And then we see this big push in January of these New Year resolutions and everybody's doing these new things. And it's just a new calendar year and it's such a big deal. And, we celebrate, we honor the new calendar year, and then we are literally fighting for our lives until spring because the year, the spiritual year is still going on. So there's a lot of benefit to manifesting and working to release, rather, not so much manifesting, but working to release towards the end of the calendar year. Even though we know, again, that the real new year begins when spring starts, there's still a lot of power here because we're all on one accord. Everybody is thinking the same things and trying to bring in new things for 2025. And for whatever reason, I thought 2026 really quick. I hope I'm not already in 2025, girl, but 2025 is definitely going to be a big year. I feel like 2024 has been a longer year compared to the other years. I've been feeling like the years have been flying by, but I feel like 2024 has been one of the longer years. So yeah, it's important to take advantage of the energy at the end of the year because everybody is working to manifest. Now, we know we're trying to bring something in and we want to be able to, be prepared to handle conflict. You want to make sure you're releasing conflict and that you're forgiving everybody. The theme of the end of this year needs to be forgiveness. You need to forgive everybody. Forgive yourself, forgive your parents, forgive people that have abused you, forgive people that have wronged you, forgive people that have lied to you. And we need to see forgiveness differently. I always talk about seeing forgiveness differently, and I know we always hear forgiveness is for you, it's not for the other person. Forgiveness for me is just about releasing expectations of anything being better and accepting what something was. I can accept that you were wrong, that you were down bad, that you were disrespectful. I can accept that I wasn't the best person. I can accept that maybe I left an avenue for you to think you could play with me. I can accept that I've made a mistake here and I wasn't the best friend here. I can accept that this person only gave me what they could give me based on what they were taught. We have to accept things for what they are and stop trying to question the past and change the past and say, well, what if this and what if this and I wish I would have done this. All that stuff is what keeps you tethered to your pain and to your trauma. And I think this year we've really been able to see the biggest pain for us, like those big moments of trauma that maybe you thought you released in 2020, or maybe you thought you released whenever and you clearly still haven't. I think we were really able to see like, oh, I'm still battling with this. Oh, this is something that I need to overcome. Oh, how do I want to approach this in a way that's going to give me what I need? So it's such an important space to be in, to really release trauma and embrace forgiveness. You do not want to carry any extra baggage into the next calendar year. And we always say that, but forgiveness, you really want to get to the root of why you need to forgive, because that's going to open up so much for you that's going to prepare you for this next chapter. Being able to forgive also means that you're able to deal with loss a lot better. You're able to deal with disappointment a lot better. You're able to bounce back from, not having things go your way. It means that you're able to make mistakes and forgive yourself and try again. It means that you never lose trust in yourself. It means that you always are able to be kind to yourself. It means that you're able to accept more from others and not let others affect your energy. Forgiveness opens up so many things. And when you really ask yourself, okay, can I forgive this person? And you can't, why? That's how you start to learn, this is stopping me from doing this. This is stopping me from feeling this. And that's what releasing is supposed to do. Where people think that releasing is supposed to give you amnesia, like it's supposed to make you forget about the pain and forget about the trauma. That's not what releasing is supposed to do. Releasing gives you a chance to take back your power, take back your control over whatever you dealt with, and it gives you a chance to look at it from a different view. It gives you a chance to say, okay, if I've been dealing with this and feeling this, why? How come this affected me? This happened to me and I decided this was going to be the worst thing that ever happened to me. Whereas, I could have also decided, hey, this was the thing that made me strong. Your perception is your reality. That's something that my best friend and my husband reminded me of this morning, because I'm dealing with something right now, guys, and I'm having to just be not necessarily positive, but I'm having to learn to exist in a way that serves me even when I'm in an uncomfortable space. And I hate being uncomfortable. Anything that makes me uncomfortable or anything that isn't what I need, I'm like, let me get away from this immediately. I do not have a problem letting go. I don't have a problem leaving. I don't have a problem doing none of that. I'm always ready to release whatever I need to. So right now, and not for long, but for the present moment, I have to be in a situation that I really do not want to be in. And it's been making me just like I get up every morning and I'm just like, oh, like I hate feeling that way, and I just want to make sure that I'm staying on top of how I'm feeling, so I'm like, oh my God, I feel like such a drag and and it's so important to change your perception on things, and you can perceive, wow, I'm uncomfortable, this sucks, this is going to take my light away, this is going to ruin every day for me. Or you can say, you know what, I'm uncomfortable, but I'm still going to be myself. I'm going to find something that I can look forward to. I don't care how hard I have to look, for it. I'm going to do whatever I can to create, a routine that works for me, because I deserve to be happy no matter what. And sometimes we have to forgive people, and that has to be our only reasoning. I deserve to be happy, so I'm forgiving you. And that's it. It might not be, oh, I think you'll do better. It might not be, oh, maybe you'll learn from this. Because to be honest, when you forgive somebody with the premise of, I want them to be better, I want them to go heal, of course we want everybody to do that, but everybody isn't going to. That's why I say forgiveness is about releasing the expectation of things being different or them being better. Because if we hold on to that, it's not really forgiveness. We're looking out of the corner of our eye to see if they're really changed, and if they haven't, we'll take our forgiveness away from them. And we are back in a space of where we're traumatizing ourselves now again. So forgiveness is going to be big, big, big to releasing at the end of the year. You want to make sure you are not holding on to any conflict, any issues, because if you are, it's going to be coming up next year. Now, there's already going to be a lot of conflict coming up because we're all human beings. So we're all going to be dealing with the same things. For some people, it's going to be the worst, and for some people, it's going to be the best. Just like 2020, just like, any moment when people are struggling, everybody is collectively going to be feeling really, really good or feeling bad based on their perception and based on their awareness of what's going on and what's happening. And again, how you feel about these things and what's your point of view, so if you are dealing with a lot of chaos and confrontation, but you've already been working on it, you've already forgiven everybody, associated with it, you'll be able to distance yourself from it. You'll be able to recognize what it is and not let it affect you, not let it make you be like, oh my God, my dreams aren't happening. We deal with so much. When you deal with a lot of chaos, it makes you feel confused. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you not have trust in yourself or in the environment. It can give you anxiety. It can give you insomnia. It can make you feel like you're battling something every day because you're so nervous about when it's going to hit the fan or what's going to happen next. There's so many things that spiral from that space. It could even spiral, triggers from your childhood if you're used to dealing with, confrontational or chaotic environments, and we don't need to deal with that. So we want to do whatever we can to prepare ourselves mentally for the space that we're stepping into, because we know we want to give ourselves the best chance possible at success. We want to make sure that we're feeling good. We want to make sure that we're able to just make the most of next year, because it's going to be wish fulfillment. And wish fulfillment and conflict can kind of be happening at the same time, and that sucks. But I feel like everything, in a sense of conflict and wish fulfillment happening in the same time, I think that conflict is not just about conflict. Like I mentioned, it can bring up a lot of different things for us. So the best thing that we can do also is release whatever does not, allow us to just kind of accept life for what it is and take the hard lessons as we need to. Anything that makes us feel like we don't deserve whatever, anything that makes us keep pondering why, anything that keeps us harboring over those moments in our lives. We want to make sure we're able to deal with that and release that as well, because again, the stuff that you've dealt with this year, you do not want to carry it into next year, because you're going to have next year's stuff to deal with. We also want to make sure that we're working on a lot of gratitude. So you want to have gratitude on your mind and let go of things that are blocking gratitude for you. Let go of what's stopping you from seeing the opportunity around you. You definitely want to kind of tap into your magician eyesight next year. I think that whenever you're trying to manifest It's good to be able to see miracles everywhere, see opportunity everywhere, see blessings everywhere, see gratitude everywhere, be excited. Like you have to let go of whatever is stopping you from doing that. So if that means releasing pity, releasing a pessimistic outview, releasing laziness, releasing greed, releasing anger, releasing sadness, releasing depression, releasing, feeling like you're not worthy of certain happiness, or you'll never get certain happiness, or you just need to stop trying because it'll never be you, or whatever you're telling yourself, who knows. We really want to make sure that we really want to get a handle on how we're speaking to ourselves and how we're preparing ourselves to receive what we want, because your wishes will be fulfilled next year, regardless if you know what you've been wishing for or not. And some of us, like, let's say, for example, even if you say something out of your mouth, you're not just manifesting with your mouth, you're manifesting with your heart, with your mind, with your body, with everything. So let's say, for example, the people that, really, really, really want to get married, but they don't want to get married and they can't stand their partner, and they really just think that the marriage is going to make it better, but they're dreading it the whole time, and they're just praying that the marriage makes it better. We all know people, and if you don't, then, good for you. But I know a lot of people who got married or took a job or had a baby or, let somebody move in with them or did something, and they knew they shouldn't have done it, but they felt like, if I do this, maybe something will change. If I do this, maybe something will be different. And the chances of something being different is like slim to none, but we do it anyway, right? And then when it doesn't work out, we are like, oh my God, I can't believe this didn't work out. My relationship fell apart. I lost my best friend. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But it's like, you didn't even want to do that in the first place. That's not even what you had in mind. That wasn't even your plan. That wasn't even your intention in the first place, So we're going to experience a lot of that next year if we're not careful. For some of us, if you've been wanting to go the distance with your partner, but you really don't like them, but you think your relationship would get better if you bought a house, or you think that, you'll like the job once you get the promotion, or you think that, if you stop bringing this up, your friendship with this person will get better, or if you just accept this, then eventually, you'll grow to like it. Situations like that, your true wish will be fulfilled. Because anytime we're making ourselves do something that we don't want to do, like, think about if you have to take some nasty ass medicine every day. Nasty medicine that literally made you feel like you were about to throw up for the next hour. You couldn't even eat after an hour after taking this medicine. That's how bad the medicine was. If you're telling yourself every day, eventually I'm going to like this, eventually I'm going to like this, subconsciously you're telling yourself, I don't like this, so I have to convince myself to like it. So your subconscious knows we don't like this. So the first chance you get to get out of it, or to mess it up, or to flop, or to put yourself in a position where it's not going to be around you, your subconscious will jump on it. Because, like I mentioned, your subconscious and your energy, your soul, your spirit, the magnet that is you attracting things to you, does not know what you really mean and what you really don't mean. Like, you might be in a situation where you dread being around somebody, but you do it because you have to do it. Eventually, you'll be in a situation where you don't ever have to be around them again. Eventually, you'll be in a situation where you never have to do it again. And you may be like, wow, I'm surprised that, this happened. I was prepared to continue to do this. But in some part of you, there is relief because it's not your reality anymore. So a lot of us, if there's something that you need to get out of your life and you aren't doing it, but you secretly know it would be a relief if it was out of your life, you better decide if you really want it or not. Because we're going to be losing stuff next year. Like a lot of people and 5 is such a critical moment in relationships, in workplace. Like, there's so many people that are going to be making the 5th year of doing something in 2025. And it's going to signify a breaking point in a mending together at the same time. A lot of people are going to be separating themselves from people, from things, from situations, but it'll bring them closer to themselves and closer to their journey. So next year is going to bring you closer to your journey, closer to your path, and closer to who you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. And whether you're ready for that or not, whether you're prepared for that or not, whether you've been even doing the work or not, it's going to happen. It's going to happen for all of us. Just like we all had to be in the pandemic, whether we wanted to or not. There's been so many collective world situations where, even if it's not something as startling as us having to stay inside, where we all have to see the same thing. We all have to be aware of the same thing. We all have to think about the same thing. Like, collectively as humans, our mind is turned towards the same thing, like no matter what, everybody is going to be watching the ball drop. Everybody is going to be celebrating Christmas. Everybody is going to be doing this. Like, the human experience is a very similar, one. We deal with a lot of the same things. There's a lot of differences, but we also deal with a lot of the same things as well. So I think that, this next year is really going to be a turning point of us stepping into a lot of different things and really challenging ourselves and asking ourselves if we're ready for what's next to come. And we want to make sure that we are getting ready and that we're doing whatever we need to prepare ourselves for this next season, because we don't want to miss it. And like I mentioned, it's going to be a moment of wish fulfillment. So if you know in your heart that you need better, that you deserve better, that there's more destined for you, and you're just trying to force yourself to accept something, you may need to ask yourself, if I have a chance to leave, would I? If I had a chance to leave today, would I? And go in a completely different direction. And if you would leave, then prepare to leave next year. Prepare to walk away next year. Next year is going to be the year of, having your wishes be fulfilled, regardless if you've been intentional about those wishes or not. Regardless if you've been saying to yourself, like, yeah, I want this, I'm ready for this. Yeah, if you've been saying that with your spirit or with your mind or with your body or with your attitude towards something, it'll be coming into fruition. And I think even that is going to bring us a lot of questions. I think it'll make us challenge ourselves and say, how am I thinking about stuff? Did I really manifest this? Did I really manifest this breakup? Did I really manifest me losing this job? Did I really manifest me getting fired because I hate this job? Some of us, have you ever met somebody that hates their job so much and they end up getting let go? And they're like, oh, it's crazy, but I did hate that job, Or somebody ends up cheating on somebody and they're like, I can't believe this person cheated on me, but I knew that I didn't need to be with them in the first place. Like we see in so many spaces how we just have that aha moment sometimes after that wish is fulfilled and we're able to get that confirmation. But yeah, I think that there's a lot that we can take advantage of next year. I think there's a lot that we can take advantage of at the end of this year. So make sure that you keep those things in mind as you're releasing. Prepare to step into your next chapter. Be mindful of what you're trying to manifest with your energy, with your actions, with your mind, with your speaking. Be mindful of what you are manifesting, whether you're intentional of it or not. Lots of forgiveness. Releasing things that are getting in the way of you in gratitude, releasing things that are getting in the way of you trusting yourself and trusting the process, dealing with any kind of conflict, dealing with any kind of issues you have with being open about your communication, walking away from people, unhealthy attachments, holding grudges. You really want to deal with all things problem related, all things issue related, all things forgiveness related, all things your dreams related. What is stopping you from having your dreams? What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Who are you now? And what's blocking you from stepping into that? Because next year is going to be your time to walk through that. It'll be your time to walk through that. After we have the year of 5, girl, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, another decade. So I think that the beginning stages of the number 10, a 10 sequence, 10 being, a moment of completion, a moment of things restarting and rejuvenating. Those first couple of years leading into that middle point, things are just kind of, getting stirred up and stirred up and stirred up until we have this big moment of, okay, this is what it's all for. That's what next year is going to be. Wow, this is what it's all for. It all has been leading up to this moment. So you have to ask yourself, if your dream, if your forever was knocking on your door tomorrow, would you be prepared to step through it? And if you aren't prepared to step through it, what can you do to make sure that you are? So yes, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you guys have any questions about releasing, you can definitely let me know down below and I can make a part 2. I always offer to make a part 2, but I feel like, sometimes you guys might have different questions. So if there is a need for a part 2, I can definitely make a part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys are going to be releasing and how you guys are feeling as we enter the end of this year. I appreciate you guys. Remember, I'm going to be having the year-end releasing event on December 15th, the last full moon of the year. With your $50 ticket, you're going to get a releasing guidebook. You'll be able to participate in the collective releasing, and it's going to be a releasing webinar. So we're going to be getting into everything about physical, emotional, and spiritual attachments, how trauma affects our subconscious, different ways that you can release, different ways that you can create spaces of releasing in your life outside of ritual work. It's a lifestyle. Okay, so there's always more that we can do. So it's going to be all things releasing. If you're interested in that, you can check down below to get a ticket to the year-end releasing event. I appreciate you guys as always. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you're on the lookout for the new content. I love y'all, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys. Bless.